let's talk about illuminating your security camera at night. Um, I'm glad I stumbled across this little tip because before I discovered this, I was just really relying on my security camera's night vision. And what I noticed was I wasn't really able to see the vehicles parked on the street in front of my house. And so I started doing a little bit of research, saw some videos, and discovered that you can actually buy these IR illuminators, which are visible to the naked eye, but they completely light up your yard in the middle of the night if it's pitch black, allowing you to see much better than anybody else's cameras. I'll tell you that. So, I found this one on Amazon. This one is a U12R, retails for $32.99. It's 12 watts. The IR, it says the IR distance on this, or the distance that the light beam will go in the darkness, is about 120 feet. I feel it's every bit of that because on my camera, I can clearly see all the way across the street and pretty much all the way onto my neighbor's properties. And I don't know, their front door is probably a little less than 120 feet. It's got a 90-degree angle beam, so the beam of light pretty much is like this when it comes out. But that's more than plenty. Completely waterproof. It's also got a photo cell right here. So this thing will actually turn itself on and off when it senses daylight. And they recommend when you install these things to install it with the photo cell down. That way it's just not getting, direct sunlight on it and probably damaging the sensor. So the one thing I don't like about it, but it's a simple fix, I don't like the cord length. This is what it comes with. It pretty much, I think it's 80 inches. That's a little less than 7 feet, but I buy these, basically these extensions, and this allows me to get an additional 30 feet, right? So that allows me to pretty much power it anywhere and not have to necessarily worry about trying to plug this thing in closer to an outlet. So this is the one that I'm actually replacing. This was on the side of my house. This thing was a champion. I think I've had this probably over a year, maybe a year and a half. For some reason, I'm not sure why, but it just kind of stopped working. But I mean, I'm not devastated or turned off by the product at all. I mean, this thing, for the price, this one I think is about 25 to 27 bucks, and this one is 32. So I feel like I'm getting absolutely everything I want out of it. But when I noticed it kind of stopped working, I decided that I would replace it with this one, which is one that I already have in place that is pointing in my front yard. And I bought it at the same time I bought this other one. The only difference between the one that's in my front yard and this one that was on my side yard is this one was completely exposed, whereas the one that's in my front yard is under the porch. So maybe that probably had something to do with it. But I'm definitely not going to knock the fact that I've got a bigger one now that I can plug into the side and really be able to see more at night. So that's just great. But anybody that's got a security camera, if you don't have an IR illuminator, you're really missing out, because if you're trusting your camera to give you perfect night vision, you're just not going to get it. You may think that you've got great vision at night, but wait till you turn one of these things on and then look at your camera at night, and you will just, I remember I was just astonished when I saw the difference. I couldn't believe that you could see that well at night. And I will be, after this video, the very end of this video, I will actually be posting a really cool video of me walking around my house with everything off, pitch black, using my current cameras and their night vision, and then I'll turn these things on and allow you to see the before and after and just how well these work. So if you're watching this video, you're probably interested. You can't go wrong. This will completely change the way you see at night with your security cameras. It's just, you can't go back after installing one of these things. So once again, this one is, the smaller one is the U8R. I think it's $27.99 on Amazon. 8 watts. Both of these are completely waterproof. They both have photocells, same angle, and they both have the same cord distance. So it's really just the watt. Well, it's the wattage one. This is 12 watts. This is 8. But also this one, the IR, the length of the floodlight, it says is 120 feet, and I will stand behind that. This other one is 85 feet. So initially I had this one on my side yard. So 85 feet worked perfectly for me, but I'm not gonna scoff at an additional some additional footage by just installing this one. So I also do want to touch on the cameras that I'm using and kind of my setup. So these obviously are an absolute must. I fully stand behind these. These are awesome. This brand has done wonders for me. But the camera that I'm using, I've got several of them around my house. These are Nest cameras. I know it's owned by Google now, but these are first generations, the ones that I've got. Had them probably 10 years, and they just work tremendously well. I love the fact that these all integrate together. One app, extremely easy to use. So the majority of us, when we open our app at our house, we're using the Nest app to control our thermostat. And these thermostats are just incredible because with your phone, you can obviously adjust the temperature upstairs, downstairs, what have you. So these thermostats are awesome. And so with the Nest app, every time I open it, I can instantly see my camera feed. I can instantly see the temperature on all of my nests. And then I can also see the statuses of these smoke CO2 detectors. So all of these are made by the same manufacturer. When you open your app, you don't have to have multiple apps, which is great. It's just one clean app. And it'll even group your camera and your thermostat by location. So if you have a couple of these outside, let's say you have them all listed as front yard, it will show them as absolutely, or it will show you all the video feeds all grouped together, so you don't have to scroll down and look at multiple different feeds and locations when you're just trying to see all of your front yard. This Smoke CO is really cool. So if you're going to get one of these, make sure that you invest the money and get they're the Energizer batteries, but they're the really expensive ones. But it'll last you 2 or 3 years versus if you just pop a regular Energizer battery in there, that won't last very long. So, and the reason I say that is this thing has an actual light on it. So if you put it up on your ceiling, if it senses you walking nearby, it'll actually give you a little bit of a light for you to be able to navigate in that area. It's not bright at all. It's just enough for you to be able to kind of see where you're walking. It's great. You can turn that off if you don't like it. Another thing that's really awesome is that if this thing does sense smoke, it'll say it out loud. This thing will actually say smoke detected, but your phone and everybody's phone that has a Nest app, all of the phones will be alerted, and basically it gives you the opportunity to dismiss the alert. And if you're cooking something and it gets a little smoky, this thing will sense that, but it'll send you an alert and say, if you don't dismiss this alarm, the smoke detector will go off in 30 seconds. So that is awesome. You don't have to worry about your smoke detector going off whenever you're cooking. We just dismiss it. It's great. So this thing, working with all of these together has just been awesome. Now this Nest camera, one feature that I didn't think that I would be searching for, but it's unintended, but it's great, is the microphone on this thing is incredible. I can hear people talking at a low level across the street, which is easily 70 to 100 feet away. So if you're just talking at normal levels, I can clearly hear the conversation being had across the street. If anybody's walking or things like that, I can clearly hear that. So that's an unintended bonus, but it's just absolutely great. And you can adjust the mic sensitivity if you up and down, but I've got mine at full. And also with these Nest cameras, you can set them for zones. And I'll put up an image of what that looks like too. But basically, I draw these little spaces around my yard, and then set certain types of alerts. So even though a car is driving in front of my property, that doesn't mean I'm going to get alerted. But the second they step foot in a zone that I've dictated, I'll get an alert, and it'll say motion or what have you. You can set it for motion. You can set it for, I think it's motion, people, sound, things like that. So different types of alerts. It's smart enough to know to alert you if you're home or you're away. So you can tell it to only alert you if no one's home, which is awesome. And it's also got great recording. So we pay for the Nest subscription, and that allows us to have 60 days of recording. And I think that's like $10 a month. So totally worth it. So this setup right here, I would just absolutely recommend the camera and the night floodlight. It's a must for me. It's worked wonders. Not looking anywhere else. I don't like having multiple apps, and so the fact that all of this just works in one beautiful app is just great. So if anybody's got a security camera and they're kind of wanting to look at something to add, definitely go for the infrared floodlight. Once again, you can't see this. If you look at this at night, you'll see a really, really soft, dim red glow from each one of these bulbs. It's hard to notice, but it's there. But through your camera, it's like somebody just turned on, pretty much turned on the sun. It's just incredible. You guys will see that here in a little bit. So these absolutely are a must if you have a security camera and you want to basically change how you can see at night. But if you're looking to get a security camera set up, go with the Nest camera, and then make sure you get the infrared illuminator. It's worth the money.